Now we'll be starting with Hegel. Hegel's philosophy, according to him, was an attempt to synthesize the notions of all his predecessors. It was mainly centered on monist philosophy, according to which absolute reality is progressively manifesting itself dialectically in the form of thesis and antithesis and synthesis. Like Aristotle, Hegel also begins with his philosophy from Plato's ideas. However, instead of many eternal independent ideas, Hegel introduces monism in the philosophy of ideas through his notion of absolute idea. In a closer analysis, one can see that Hegel's absolute idea is nothing but the idea of good of Plato arranged in a proper manner. No comparison between Hegel and Plato. Plato says ideas are many, Hegel says absolute idea is one. Plato says that ideas are independent substances, Hegel says nothing exists independent of absolute idea. Plato says ideas are eternal and unchangeable. Hegel says dialectical evolution is going on in absolute idea also. Plato says ideas subsist outside and independent from our mind. Hegel says absolute idea is not separate from worldly objects. Plato says objects of this world are mere archetypes of ultimate ideas. Hegel says everything which has existence in this world is the result of dialectical evolution of absolute idea. Now, Hegel's criticism of Kantian notions of noumena, to say that there exists a nominal world and it is unknowable, is self contradictory. If Kant accepts that there is a nominal world, it itself is a kind of knowledge. If Kant is unable to provide the basis of his conclusion, then philosophically and logically it is absurd. Hegel creates a difference between unknown and unknowable. Unknown is something not known so far, but unknowable can never be known. For example, there is water on Mars, but is unknown so far. There can't this can't be accepted as unknowable as it can be known in the future. That is the argument given by logical positivists. Now, thus, with Hegel, the speculative method of philosophy was given again on the rise, and the logic remained subordinate to metaphysics. The result was absolute idealism of Hegel. Now, Hegel's absolute idealism, it is the metaphysical theory of Hegel, which states that there is only one ultimate reality called absolute idea. It's many in one and one in many. It's a coherent system of thoughts like mathematics. It is an integrated whole in which everything is logically connected with the rest. According to Hegel, if there was more than one reality, then each would be limited by the rest. Though Leibniz accepts monads as ultimate realities and they are independent substance, he fails to explain properly the relation between monads. Thus, pluralism fails to integrate the different realities. Similarly, in Hegel's view, Spinoza sacrificed pluralism for the sake of monism. Hegel's philosophy is a unique attempt to synthesize pluralism with monism. Hegel's criticism of Spinoza, Hegel was against the notion of abstract monism of Spinoza, in which manyness disappears. All things, including humans, will become mere passing waves that never are. Therefore, Hegel calls Spinoza's philosophy as a black night in which all cows are equally black, or Spinoza's substance is like the lion's den to which all footprints point, but from nothing returns. In other words, substance alone is real, while all other objects are illusionary. Daily objects experience shows that Spinoza's notion of substance is wrong. Now, absolute ideas, just according to Hegelian monism, the absolute idea, that is just, is the only reality. It is not different from world, but is a synthetic, systematic whole which Hegel calls as organic whole. All the things which are animate and inanimate are part of absolute. Reality is neither pure identity nor pure difference. It comprises of both identity and difference. Everything is the manifestation of ultimate idea. Everything is related to everything else on one hand and the whole on the other. The study of ideas is a system of thoughts or logical forms. Ideas are abstract and they manifest in the form of nature. The nature has the same structure that belongs to categories. Nature is matter in primary stage. In the order of development, the idea precedes matter of both of them synthesize each other. The absolute idea, according to Hegel, is eternal and changeless. At the same time, Hegel recognizes that the world contains many changes. According to him, these changes are neither chaotic nor accidental. They are in perfect harmony with absolute and are silenced within the system of absolute idea. They are logically guided through dialectical method of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. Dialectical method, Hegel says that reality is dynamic and dialectic in nature. He propounds the dialectical method to study the nature of reality. The principle of contradiction is central to the dialectic process. Hegel, however, has used contradictions in his unique sense. In logic, contradiction means complete opposition, but Hegel has used contradiction in the sense of being different. Anything that is different from A is contradictory to A. According to Hegel, contradiction is the source of all developments. Hegel's dialectical method is triadic movement. The spirit develops through the steps of thesis, antithesis, synthesis, and then again thesis. In this process, contradictory elements are reconciled and substantial elements are transformed. Contradictions are revoked, but harmony is preserved. In other words, thesis and antithesis are sublated in the synthesis. For example, being plus non being is equals to becoming. Hegel claims that with the help of dialectic, man can understand the world like God. It means that we can think God's thoughts after him. The supreme spirit, that is absolute idea for Hegel, is conscious in itself. Consciousness in itself is abstract and becomes concrete in relation to appropriate subjects of nature and life. When man has become aware of the reason through various processes of science, morality, etc., the world spirit rises to self consciousness in man. The most remarkable thing about dialectics is the higher categories contain the lower one. For example, becoming contains being and non being. In the dialectical process, the higher categories contain all the previous categories and nothing would be lost. Moreover, dialectical process takes place in a progressive way, which is later stages are qualitatively better than the previous one. So there is a proposition, there is a counter proposition, there is a new thesis, which is the reconciliation, that is also the synthesis, and then again to this synthesis, there is a counter proposition. Now, real is rational, rational is real. Hegel accepts absolute idea as the ultimate reality. Everything which has existence in the universe is the manifestation of absolute idea. Hegel, who believed in harmony between human reason and the world, believes that the ultimate aim and the business philosophy is to reconcile the thought or the concepts with reality. In other words, philosophy can overcome the alleged gap between concepts and realities. For Hegel, knowing and being are identical, or real is rational, and vice versa. Hegel's epistemology can be seen as the demonstration of the formula rational is real. Hegel was a rationalist who believed that reason alone can give us the knowledge of reality. Hegel's metaphysics can be seen as the other side of coin, which is real is rational. If reality has rational structure, then the logic of dialectic applies only to our concepts but to reality itself. World itself contains conflicts or oppositions out of which new forms of existence shape themselves. The comparison between Hegel and Berkeley. Berkeley refuted existence of material object. Hegel, objective world is unfolding expression of ultimate idea. Matter is not negated but accepted as a dialectical expression of absolute idea. Berkeley says soul, ideas, gods are accepted. They are accepted as independent realities, that is dissectic. Hegel says matter is only an internal part of absolute idea. There is organic unity between absolute idea and matter, that is pantheistic. Berkeley says esse est percipi, that is to be perceived. Hegel says real is rational, rational is real. Now, criticism. Linguistic philosophers like Moore and Russell criticize the high amount of speculative element in Hegelian philosophy. J. Findlay says that dialectical necessity does not stand the test of logical rigor. Hegel is also accused of having undertaken only a selective use of history to justify his own thought and position. Moreover, Hegel's glorification of nation state accepted acted as a prelude to the extreme nationalism that devastated Europe and inspired fascist regimes. That'll be all. We'll be moving to Moore Russell and early Wittgenstein in the next video.